Hi, welcome to the Energy and Balance podcast. My name's Michelle, and today I'm going to be talking about divine feminine energy, what it means, and what crystals you can use to tune in to that vibration and really get yourself in sync with it, as well as some ways that we can look at how you can use it, what you can do to bring more of it into your life. So what is divine feminine energy? It's the balance. You've got two things. You've got your masculine side and you've got your feminine side. Now, the feminine side is all about emotional depth, nurturing, inner wisdom, and tuning into your intuition. It really does represent the softer side, which is not necessarily weakness, because if you look at everything that happens through the feminine energy, you've got creation. Now, creation is one of the strongest things that can happen, and all of that comes through the feminine energy. So working with the feminine energy is really about self-love, supporting yourself, emotional healing, creativity, and really connecting to your inner voice. One of the things that I don't really like about what's been happening over the last odd years has been the way that divine feminine energy has been put out there. It's been put out there like it is the be-all, end-all, and it's the only thing you can do. Now, to really understand energy, you need to understand the balance between the energy. There can't be the divine feminine energy without your masculine, because they're yin to yang. They balance each other out. And if you push yourself too much towards the divine feminine or too much towards the divine masculine, then you're going to be out of balance. So when you're working with these energies, you really have to try and remember to create the balance in your life. That is really, really important with being able to move forward. The divine feminine really does work through the heart. That's what it's all about. And it's your heart mainly, and then your third eye and your sacral. So your birthing and your love and your intuition are your three ones that are right the way through. And it's all about helping you move forward, helping you dissolve any blockages that you might have and you might be feeling to move through. You've got three aspects of the divine feminine energy, and those aspects are your maiden. Now, your maiden is all about, you think of the young love. You think of that's where love begins. That's where you really start your self-discovery and openness, the journey of your life. And then during that cycle, you move into the mother. Now, the mother is where you really connect with the nurturing side and just the love that you're in and the love that you have. You learn how to expand that out. Whereas in the maiden side, it's more about self-love and really that very singular learning who you are. The maiden then pushes out into a more expanded love and nurturing love. And then you come into the crone. So, and that's where your love deepens. You start to begin to understand things at a deeper level. Really, you discover your own inner strength and the wisdom of where you are in life. One thing that a lot of people don't understand is just because you're a young 16-year-old, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily in the maiden stage. We can go through any of these different stages of the divine feminine at any point in our lives, and we can switch through them, and that switch can be long and drawn out as you're learning, or it can be a quick switch as you've learned what you needed to move through. So it isn't like I'm this age, so therefore I must be the maiden. It depends on what you need in your life as to what you're actually going to feel. Now let's have a little bit of a deeper look at the maiden. The maiden is all about self-love, learning who you are, learning what you want to do, and really exploring those new beginnings that can happen within your life. It's a time when you've got a real curiosity to everything that's happening around you and where you want to go. And you've got this amazing amount of trust in the possibilities of what life can actually bring you and where you can move forward. Then you've got the mother. You move into that mother stage, which is nurturing and just that nurturing love. If you think of a mother and they holding a newborn baby, and you've got that bond, you've got that nurturing between them. And that's all about what the mother is. It's that creation and it's that nurturing stage. It's the connection. You've got love, care, stability. It's really where you expand beyond your own self. And so then we move into the crone. The crone is probably one of my favorite stages because it comes where you really find the inner strength, the inner wisdom, and you can tap into that deep inner knowing. You pull it all together, you've suddenly got your insecurities are left behind. You've got self-respect and you've got really strong boundaries on who you are. There's a real truth, clarity, and discernment from this stage in your life. And you have that acceptance of the inner peace. Between the two, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, then neither of them are right or wrong. They just balance each other out. And so what you're looking at is, whereas the feminine is about the love and the intuition and the creation, the aspects, or the three main aspects of the divine masculine, is your warrior, your king, and your sage. Now they match up with the feminine, with the ages, if you like. But it's all about, the masculine is all about action and forward movement. It's about logic and clarity, protection and stability, and discipline and the purpose. So sometimes if you're pushing too much over towards the divine feminine, then you're not getting the forward movement. You're not getting the balance of what that divine masculine can bring through. And once you have the balance between the two is when you can really move forward. And I see this not just in personalities and where we want to go and what we want to do and the strengths that we really tap into. This is also something that you need to take into consideration when you're doing your crystal grids, when you're putting your mojo bags together, whether you've got your crystal bowl that you're putting stuff in. There really is that balance between the masculine and the feminine, because once that yin and yang is there, is when you are really going to find your way forward and propel forward. Now there can be signs between signs that the divine feminine is actually out of balance. And that's really when you're feeling disconnected from your emotions. So you cut off from everything that's happening and there's that real uncertainty with everything going on. Instead of being able to really follow your intuition, you're overthinking things. Everything is whirling and whirling and whirling around in your head. And you're really at the point in your life where you're having a lot of difficulty being able to accept that you can be loved and really receive that love. Bring that in and feel the love of those around you as well as the love for yourself. you're in that constant burnout where everything is too much, you can't cope with it, you're struggling with your self-worth and your self-care. So when you're at any of these points in your life, it really is time, and you can be male or female to do it. You can still be out of balance. It doesn't matter. It just is going to then be that delicate process of bringing that balance through. But there are certain crystals on the site that I love to do when that balance of feminine energy is out of place. The first one I love is kunzite. Kunzite is beautiful. It's gentle. You hold it and it's got a cool, wonderful feeling that just makes you kind of take a sigh and go, I can just let all of that wonderful love, that wonderful energy, everything else come right on through, and I can accept it. And once you start to do that, you're then going to be able to reconnect with your own true feelings, and you're coming from a place that is really compassionate. And once you start remembering that and loving yourself, you can move yourself forward and start to really re-love other people and start to rebuild that self-loving, nurturing inner peace that can spread out and go through everyone. Morganite is our next one. Morganite is all about divine love and inner peace. It's when you're in that turmoil and you really need to feel that deep, loving, nurturing of divine feminine, and understand that it's okay. Your heart can be soothed, and you can at that point release the emotional wounds and all of those blockages that you've been holding on to that are really not doing you any good. It helps restore the peace and the trust, and you really feel a greater sense of emotional security. So it helps to bring all of those things back through so that you can be open to forgive other people, and most importantly, forgive yourself, so that you can move forward and really enjoy who you are again. My next one is watermelon tourmaline. Now, watermelon tourmaline, if you look at it, it does have both in it. If you get down to the nitty-gritty about watermelon tourmaline, you've got the green tourmaline on the outside usually, and you've got the pink tourmaline on the centre, and it really is a balance. And that's one of the reasons that I decided to put it in there. Your pink tourmaline is so loving and so gentle to yourself, and your green tourmaline is heart. So it balances through those things. It's really heart-centered, and it's about just realigning all of your energy and bringing through emotional harmony and stability into your life, so that you've got that little bit of, it's all good, it's all okay, I can love myself. So working with green tourmaline is a fantastic way to really find that emotional strength and emotional harmony that you need to move forward. My next one is Gaia stone. Now, Gaia stone is quite an unusual stone. What happens is the St. Helena had erupted, the volcano erupted I'm racking my brain here, I think it was back in 84. And what they discovered was some of the volcanic ash, when it was actually cooling, a natural glass was being formed. And it was this beautiful green. And they discovered if they collected some of that dust, that volcanic ash, they could mix it in with glass, and they had the same result. So there's not a lot of natural pieces out there, because there weren't a lot, but you can still get it. Don't be fooled by green obsidian. It is completely different, and please only get your Gaia stone from a trusted buyer, because it is going to be more expensive, and it has a completely different vibration to just your green obsidian, which is a colored glass. So what actually happens with the Gaia stone is it's your connection to Mother Earth. It's about really, and from a divine feminine, that is really important. Mother Earth is the embracing love, the nurturing of everything happening around you, the stability of that emotion, and the inner support and safety that you feel. That earthly vibration is you don't usually see in the feminine energy, but those two things combined really bring through a very strong support of your healing and bring through that peace and balance. So when you're feeling the unbalance because you're ungrounded, you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed by everything happening around you, and when that disconnection happens, that real apathy that comes through with you and you just, nah, whatever. That's when Gaia Stone is going to come through and really help you reconnect in a loving, gentle way so that you remember that you can nurture yourself and you can nurture other people, and really brings through that love and peace. The next stone is Moonstone. Moonstone is a beautiful stone. It's all about increasing the feminine intuition as well as just that natural, loving, feminine flow. It's a very deeply a stone with a deep intuition, and it's also a very fluid crystal that it allows you to. You don't have to be rigid in who you are. There can be that flow and that evolution into who you need to be. You don't have to be that same one. It shows you the different aspects of who you can be and helps you connect more with that natural cycle that's around you. Some days you can feel like the goddess, and some days you can be the crone. And Moonstone really helps you allow to see those different aspects within yourself and to flow through them. The last crystal we're going to look at is rose quartz. Rose quartz is all about divine love. It really is, and it really connects into the divine feminine energy. It allows you to remember that you need to be self-nurturing, self-healing, have compassion for yourself. It's got such a gentle, soothing vibration. Anyone can use it and accept it, and it'll be there. It helps to really dissolve any self-criticism you have about yourself, and that way you can feel more peace with who you are and feel a lot more emotionally safe and a lot of acceptance in you and who you are. So again, this one is back to reconnecting with yourself and not feeling that disconnection from life and everything else. It brings it right the way through. And how can we use crystals to support the divine feminine? What they do is, as we've just gone through all of the crystals, you're talking about the connection with the intuition. You're talking about emotional healing so that you can have more self-love. And not only self-love, you can be more receptive to allowing and accepting the love of other people. They also help to bring a balance through in your life. And so sometimes when you're working with divine feminine, there is nothing wrong with going, that one, and that one. Oh, I need to balance out something here with a masculine. Working with crystals and the energy, you can find your own balance to what you need, because we're all individuals and we all have different stuff going on in our lives that we need to address. And sometimes you can start with these crystals and then evolve into other ones as you need it, as you work through things. Another thing that you need to keep in mind with the divine feminine energy is we are affected by the moon phase. All right. So it's all about that emotion and everything else. And if you really want to work with divine feminine energy, then you can set your pace to the month, so that with the new moon, it's about time to settle down, reflect, relax, and really set the intentions of what I want to do and where I want to go forward. And then you move into the waxing moon, and it's that growing phase. It's that creativity. You can expand. You can set the things that you want to do and start to push forward to do them. The full moon is when you're really connecting with the intuition, clarity, and you've got heightened energy through that phase because you're really connecting with it. And using your moonstone during a full moon will really hype up the energy as well. And then you've got the waning moon, and that's when you've got the release and the surrender, and clear away all of the emotional stuff that you've just been through, so that you can go back into the same cycle. Some of the ways you can actually do that is you can meditate. Meditate is absolutely fantastic with the divine feminine. You can do that a number of different ways, and it can be anything from 5 minutes to a full meditation out under a full moon. So it's about the crystals, and it's about the intent that you go in to your meditation, so that you really are focusing on connecting with the divine feminine and bringing forward all of that power and all of that energy that you need into it. The heart chakra. When you're doing your meditations or your moon rituals or whatever you like, really you're working through the heart chakra. And so you can place stones over your heart, and you can really bring all of the focus and the meditations in through those stones, so that you can bring through the love that's needed through the divine feminine, as well as helping to open up your intuition and everything else. Moon rituals are also a very, very gentle way to connect to the moon, to the divine feminine. So it can be as simple as you choose the moon cycle that is going to suit you. Could be a new moon when you're ready to start things, and it could be a full moon, whatever you want to do. If you want to heighten it or do through it, it's choosing the right cycle to flow through. And what it is you've got some crystals. You've got the crystals, moonstone and rhodonite, whatever you want to put through. The crystals that really call for you during what your intention is with the moon ritual. And you're out, you sit under the moon, you light your candle, you have your intention of what you want from it, and you meditate through it. This can be as short or as long as you need to do, and you can also do it over, as the moon cycles are usually 3 days, you can do it with increased intention over those days. Always been, some people, I have previously blown out the candle and not continued, blown out the candle and gone back to it and reused it multiple times. And sometimes when I really want to put it out there and do a different type, I will let the candle continue to burn in a safe place until it's burnt right the way through. And just connecting with the feminine energy, you can simply do things like carry the stones around or wear the stone. Wear a beautiful moonstone ring. Carry around a piece of rose quartz. Wear a rose quartz bracelet. Combine your divine feminine energy so that you have them on you, and it's helping you feel more connected to love and more balanced. A really good way to, if you're feeling that out of balance and you're working on moving and progressing towards a different stage in your life, a really good way to do that is to use a journal. Now, you can have a physical journal if you want. You can also have a recorded journal, or you can have one on one of your devices. That's completely up to you. But if you're on that progression forward, by using a journal, you can see how you're changing, where you're headed, and what you're doing. So a lot of people nowadays don't use a journal. I've used video journals, I've used written journals, I've used different things over the years. And I really do default back to it when I need that progression to show. Very important to have a sacred space. A sacred space for yourself. Now, this isn't just about divine feminine. This is somewhere you can go and you can pull yourself together. You can find the balance that you need. And having that divine energy in that space when you want to work with it is a really fantastic way to bring that together. It doesn't need to be a big space, and you can place your grid in it or anything else in it that you want. But whenever you're at the point in your life when you want to focus on the different things that your divine feminine brings through, is when you set up your grid for it, is when you really set up the space and focus on it if you're out of balance or feeling that out of sort. When you're at that stage, when you want to create something new, reconnect with something, find that divine wisdom that you feel like you're really missing, and have that self-love again and everything else. If you're at that stage, then it probably is a really good idea to find yourself reconnecting to the divine feminine and finding your way forward. Doesn't mean it has to be forever. It just means until you are rebalanced in that and can have a much more stable and just enjoy life and love and laugh again. All right. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoy using your divine feminine crystals, because I've always got some that are nice and close and pick them up when I need them, whether it's I'm just feeling a little bit out of sort and I need that bit of nurturing and love. Pick it up, use it, and wear it for the day. If you think that you know someone who might get help out of what you've heard today, please share. And remember to follow me on YouTube or Spotify, and I bring out podcasts every week. Have a great week, and till next week.